Woking's number came up first.
Number 7, Everton.
Everton in the FA Cup fourth round. A dream come true for me, and I'm sure the members, supporters, staff of Woking Football Club. Directors have got a lot of work to do now, got to get their heads together. I'm quite sure in my own mind that we'll have to play it up there, but it's down to the directors. But it's a wonderful tie for us.
Jeff Chappell's prediction came true within 24 hours. Vice Chairman Phil Ledger broke the news.
Well, the decision is that we're going to play the game at Goodison. I've spoken to Steve Clark this evening and he's going to OK it hopefully tomorrow. I've spoken to the secretary at Goodison and they're happy to put the game on.
Amidst an ever-growing fixture list, a place was found for the Everton adventure. Sunday, January the 27th, 1991. The huge demand for tickets included supporters of West Bromwich Albion. Time now for comparisons with 1958, as the locals simply savoured these marvellous moments for the club they love.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. It's been something I can remember when they played the Amateur Cup, and I was too young to go. I had to watch my brothers go off and watch them go, so this time I was determined to go.
And bring all your daughters with you?
Bring all the daughters with me.
Even the training sessions drew spectators now, as Fred Callaghan plotted the tactics to take on Everton under the gaze of Chairman Ted Hills.
Right, that's quite right, Aidy. Instead of watching the players where they're going, he's got to make sure that he covers him first. Don't ball watch, Trev, don't ball watch. Push up, me now.
The team could have been forgiven for treating the Everton experience simply as a weekend away. The newspapers showed that they'd achieved so much. But the sense of competition was still high, and the players were moved by the reaction to their endeavours.
The feeling you get is just unbelievable. And at the end of the day, it's 90 minutes of football, you know.
Even Liverpool Football Club paid their respects. The Woking squad guests at Anfield 24 hours before the biggest game of their lives. Nor would they walk alone on Merseyside. 10,000 followers travelled to Goodison Park, an experience that no one who was there could ever forget.
The welcome for Woking deafening here at Goodison Park as the men from Surrey take the field. Tim Buzaglo getting a special welcome after his stunning performance in the third round. All the Woking fans congregated behind that goal and they've given their favourites a tremendous reception. And a welcome for Everton. The Woking fans defiantly booing them as they take the field. Tony Cottier restored to the side following that 4-goal performance in midweek against Sunderland. He could scarcely have been left out by manager Howard Kendall. So Tim Buzaglo, the hero of the third round match against West Bromwich Albion. So referee Keith Hackett gets this fourth round tie underway in a tremendous atmosphere. The travelling support from Woking making this into a memorable occasion already. And the first touch by the goalkeeper Tim Reid, getting a special roar there from the fans behind him. Tim Reid playing here in a match against his goalkeeping hero Neville Southall at the other end. So they headed away there by Bradley Pratt. Ratcliffe coming forward, took a blow in the face there as he won that high ball. It's through again to Tim Reid, and these opening minutes for Woking will be absolutely crucial. If they lost a goal in the opening 5 minutes or so, it would be extremely difficult for them to maintain any momentum at all. Headed away there by Watson. Here's Ratcliffe for Everton. Well, fully 10,000 Woking supporters inside the stadium, and Everton supporters also recognising the importance of the occasion. There's a very substantial crowd in the stadium for the start of the match, as Graham Sharp tries to win the first high challenge there with his marker Trevor Barron. So it's a match eagerly awaited by these Woking players. They now have the chance to put into practice all the plans they've laid. The layoff there from Sharp. And Cotty dwelling in the ball too long. Complaining there to John Ebrell at his left about the fact he didn't receive a call, but Cotty really was released brilliantly there by Sharp. So the skipper, Eddie Cowler, taking some time to allow his players to settle. They played in front of 14,500 people at the Hawthorns in the third round against West Bromwich Albion. But there are many more here this afternoon. There's the Everton skipper, Kevin Ratcliffe. Now Hinchcliffe. Ebrell playing it across. Watson being harried by Buzaglo. Shane Y in midfield, winning the ball for his fullback, Stuart Mitchell. Biggins. And now Cowler. And the tackle came from McCall. His presence in midfield could be very important for Everton. He was brought down there though by Biggins. Referee Keith Hackett on the spot, but Stuart McCall asserting himself in midfield early on for Everton. Here's Andy Hinchcliffe. Target again, Sharp. And it goes for Sheedy. And a fine save by Tim Reid. A beautifully controlled left foot effort there by Sheedy. And the 19-year-old goalkeeper Tim Reid reacted very well indeed. Well, that was superb play from Everton again with Graham Sharp, the hub of the move. And Sheedy with that superb effort. There's the corner kick. Crowded 6-yard box. Cowler turning it back. Bozaglo's on his own. Franks has raced through on the inside left channel. And Brown challenging fiercely too in the middle of the field for Woking. Well, that may turn out to be a very important save by Tim Reid for Woking. Stretching his 6'3" frame. This is Cotty. And now Ratcliffe. Sheedy trying to get away from Shane Y. McCall hustled into the arrow there by Bozaglo. Franks to Brown. The challenge came from Ebrel, and here's Nevin. Support on the outside there from Sharp. Ebrel has gone forward. Played in by McDonald. A dangerous swerving cross there from McDonald. But Graham Sharp had been drawn out to the right flank. He would have been the ideal target for that. Good goes for Bozaglo, testing the pace of Watson. Well, if Dave Watson had any doubts about the difficulty of the task of coping with Bozaglo, that was a reminder. Roars of approval from the Woking fans as Woking try to come forward again. This is Shane Y. Played forward by Pratt. Inside from Mitchell. Here's Biggins. Confident, elusive player in the Woking attack, and the flag is up for offside. Stuart Mitchell caught there, wide on the right. But certainly a very promising opening from Woking. And the long ball forward catches Sheedy in space. A misunderstanding there among the Woking defenders. That could have been dangerous. Lloyd Y playing it forward. There's Franks. Now Shane Y. Cowler in space. That's good play by the skipper. Now it's Stuart Mitchell again, enjoying a lot of possession in this little spell, Woking. So do their confidence lots of good. The Y brothers exchanging passes. Good tackle by McCall. Good understanding there. Sharp coming inside, leaving space for Nevin. Nevin taking on Barron. It's back with McCall. Now Hinchcliffe. Patient build up this from Everton. It breaks down with that pass from Sheedy. Tall figure of Bradley Pratt brings the ball out. He found Franks on the left. Forward goes Brown. Bozaglo waits in the middle. And Dave Watson prevents the cross coming in. Good, confident, aggressive play this from Woking. They've got every right to be pleased with this start to the match. Bozaglo's pace will be a constant threat to Everton. So the corner kick will be taken by Shane Y. The Everton fans congregated there behind Neville Southall, but the noise is coming from Woking supporters at the moment. Here's Brown, charging forward, got past Nevin. There's Mitchell, and Ratcliffe did well. Derek Brown threatened there though as he came forward. There's Mitchell. Biggins was being pressurised by McCall. Mark Biggins certainly lacks nothing in terms of confidence on the ball. Well, Everton know already this is a genuine cup tie. Levin dragging the ball inside Franks and then using MacDonald. Forward goes Sharp. A good first touch by Graham Sharp. Nevin's return pass, good play from Sharp again. This is McCall. Pass was measured for Hinchcliffe and he's taken out by Biggins. Referee Hackett right on the spot. And Mark Biggins going crunching into that tackle on Hinchcliffe. It was beautifully released by that measured pass. Free kick for Everton. Sheedy so deadly from this position. Get in low. And breaks into that position well on the left for Franks for Woking. Bozaglo was offside. Started the run just a shade too early. Well, no sign of any inferiority complex at this stage in the match from Woking. They've come out full of determination, as you would expect, but they have shown also a very high degree of skill. They'll be treated with continuing respect by Everton. Sharp laying it back. There's Watson and Ratcliffe. Breaks down in midfield with Sheedy. Here's Neil MacDonald. And Sheedy caught out there by Bozaglo. He's looking for that pass from Brown. Good defending by Watson. He was very quick indeed to spot the danger, the Everton centre-half. Well, some of the Everton midfield players looking as though they want a little bit of extra time on the ball in midfield, and they're not going to get that. Why Biggins to Mitchell. Why again, well tackled by McCall. McCall urging on his teammates from midfield. Mitchell again. Running the ball out for the Everton throw. For Mitchell pushing forward wide on the right side of the Woking midfield. Going to touch again. This is Conti. Well, he clearly didn't spot Lloyd Y when he tried to release that pass. Bozaglo. There's Franks. Y goes forward. Good play again from Woking. Franks again trying to turn away from Nevin, but Pat Nevin forced to come back and help in defence. And the decision goes to Everton. Mark Frank showing a little outburst of dissent there, which referee Hackett expressed his displeasure about. There's Everett, back from Sharp. Calls driven ball forward, came off Biggins. There's Hinchcliffe. Back with Ratcliffe. Target again was Graham Sharp. Sheedy beaten to the ball by Cowler, operating in the sweeper role. Down goes Derek Brown. The referee allows the advantage with Biggins in possession. That's for Bozaglo. Southall well out of his area. And Southall came to meet the challenge posed there by Tim Bozaglo. But Everton not looking at all happy against the pace of Bozaglo through the middle. Southall Made a very important intrusion there into the outfield. That's good control from Brown. Showed too much of the ball though to Nevin. Lloyd wide, takes the pass from Biggins. Aglo couldn't get away from Watson that time. So this Everton side packed full of internationals, but finding the going extremely difficult in these early stages. Sharp looks menacing though. There's Tony Cottee. Well, hungry for goal, Tony Cottee, after his 4-goal performance against Sunderland, taking his total for the season to 11. Still to establish himself completely though here at Goodison. No challenge there for Watson. Ratcliffe using Hinchcliffe. Sharp has led the line well for Everton in the early stages. He's been the main threat. Linking play from midfield. Watson to Nevin. Now McDonald. Interception there by Lloyd. Why? Getting the ball ahead of Nevin. Good play though by McCall. Brown. Why? Came off Nevin. The tackle came from Derek Brown. Well, there's a very interesting contest developing in midfield between Stuart McCall and Derek Brown. There's McDonald. Header down by Watson. Now Ratcliffe. Collected in midfield by Ebrel. This is McCall. Nevin turning brilliantly. Here's Ebrel on the right. And the met there by Shane Wye. The touch in the end came from Ebrel. It's a goal kick to Woking. And once again their defence stood firm. Encouraging opening 15 minutes from Woking. There's McDonald and Nevin. The ball forward, here's Sharp. Ratcliffe breaking from the back. Target there was Cottee, but Biggins stepped in. This is McCall. Biggins again did just enough to get to that to prevent Hinchcliffe breaking on the left. Woking operating with one principal spearhead in Tim Buzaglo. Everyone else dropping into midfield when required. There's Cottee. Denied any space here in the corner. A.D. Cowler has come across to take the throw. Three-man central defence for Woking. Cowler sweeping behind Pratt and Barron, who are marking Cottee and Sharp. So a carefully planned campaign this from Woking. There's Hinchcliffe with a header. Ebrel going forward, followed by Shane Wye. Corner kick's been given. Plenty of tall defenders in the Woking ranks. Bradley Pratt standing 6 feet 5 inches tall. Barron and Cowler can do well in there also. A very tall goalkeeper in Tim Reid, but Everton can be deadly from these near post corners. Reid did well and Brown completed the clearance. Biggins with the back killer. It's played forward by Franks. Woking not getting any players forward quickly enough to support that break. So here's Kevin Sheedy. Got across there by Barron to Lloyd Wye. Lloyd Wye and Mitchell are the wide midfield players who drop back to the full-back positions when required. So again, Everton showing plenty of patience. Trying to put passes together. There's Dave Watson. Sharp to McCall. Headed away by Pratt. Walking bench behind Dave Watson there. Jeff Chappell, the manager, in the middle. The layoff there again came from Sharp. There's McCall. Now Nevin. Cotty waits in the middle. Disappointing cross that from Pat Nevin. Sharp was not waiting in the middle and he would have been the principal target, but Nevin will not be happy with the quality of that delivery. So the walking bench looking somewhat tense. Jeff Chappell in the middle with some instructions, but he must be very happy indeed with the start his team has made. So a free kick to Woking. So Biggins waving to A.D. Cowler, who'll take this free kick. Mitchell's a lot of space over on the right. And on the left was Trevor Barron. Buzaglo couldn't find a way past McCall. Yet Buzaglo now, still with support on the outside from Franks. Pratt's in the middle. Bradley Pratt stealing up from his defensive position to use his 6'5" frame to test the Everton defence. Fine play, Buzaglo to Franks. And there's the pressure on, provided by Pratt. He got his head to that, and it sailed over the top. Well, what a good effort it was from Bradley Pratt. He's scored 8 times this season for Woking. Mitchell's header. Hinchcliffe retreats. So 20 minutes of the first half gone, and if Woking had been offered at this position at this stage in the match, they would have been overjoyed. So honours so far going Woking's way. Biggins running into McCall. Cowler getting that ball away from Sharp. There's McCall, and McDonald forced into the pass back. Franks was closing in on him from behind. Misunderstanding there. Kevin Ratcliffe hoping to release one of his 2 strikers through the middle, Sharp or Cutty. Disappointing clearance there from Tim Reid, and the young goalkeeper really hasn't been called upon to perform too many heroics so far. One good save from Sheedy in the early stages, but that apart, his defenders have protected him extremely well. There's Franks, brilliantly tackled there by McCall. That's Nevin asking too much of Neil McDonald in terms of pace, former Newcastle United player. Pat Nevin still looking very lively. He tries to make some impact in the match. Played forward by McDonald. There's Sharp looking for Sheedy. The marking really has been extremely diligent so far by the Woking players. I can take great credit from their performance so far. Shane Y back to Pratt. And Bradley Pratt coming so close with that header a few moments ago. A sales rep by profession. Spent some time in New Zealand playing some football. Nichols header. Headed away there by Barron. Little flick on from Biggins, and Buzaglo has almost caught out Watson. A little bit of hesitancy in the Everton defence, and Buzaglo is certainly eager enough to take advantage of that. This is Cowler. Franks holding off McCall. back with Shane White and Mitchell. It's good play again from Woking. Releasing the pass rather too quickly towards Biggins. So across the back foot it goes for Everton. A long ball from McDonald, seeking out Sharp. Well, that was intended for Nevin. He didn't anticipate the move though from Sharp. So Neil McDonald goes to retrieve the ball for the throw, but it's certainly not just a question of containment from Woking. They're trying very hard to play football themselves, and they certainly have put a number of passes together. They've made life very difficult for Everton. Space though for Ebrel. Resisting the challenge from Brown. This is Ratcliffe. Now Hinchcliffe. Ratcliffe looking for Graham Sharp. Barron beat him to this. And back with McDonald. There's Sheedy to Nevin. Taking on Lloyd Y, making for the byline. And determined play by Y. Now Pat Nevin has caused problems for the best fullbacks in the country, and Y did extremely well there. Leaving the corner kick, Nevin to Sheedy. There's Neil MacDonald, up goes Watson. Well, not picked up well enough, I reckon, by Woking, but the cross just a shade too far away from Watson as it was delivered. He couldn't get on the end of this properly. Bradley Pratt was there, mind you, to mark him. Poor kick out that from Reid that landed kindly at the feet of Pratt. And this time he's left with no option but to send the ball into the enclosure. So Tim Reid, the bank clock from Worthing. Now Nevin. That's good play from Nevin, now looking up for support. That's for Ebril. It was well met by Shane Y. It was very good defending by Y. Aglo hustled there by Watson. That prevented the accuracy in the pass towards Franks. Neil MacDonald. And Tim Reid coming to collect that confidently. He's the only ever present in the Woking side this season. So the ball bouncing out there for the throw to Woking. So the hectic opening spell has been handled well by Woking. Now they have to settle and maintain their momentum, which may not be so very easy against a quality side like Everton. Which competing well with Hinchcliffe. So retreat at the back by Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe playing it long, Sharp is offside. Well, he has been a major threat to the Woking defence in the opening quarter of the match, Graham Sharp. With his deft little flicks and excellent first touch and control. Carler playing it wide to Barron. No real target there for Barron as he played the ball forward. So the Woking fans contented at the moment. Buzaglo to wide. So every ball going forward to attack the Everton defence, greeted by roars of approval from these Woking supporters. Now they may have to watch the team defend. Here's Sheedy and Sharp. That's fine play by Sharp again, resisting the challenge from Pratt. There's MacDonald. And Nevin couldn't reach that. Hasn't yet got going completely, Pat Nevin. Franks nods it on. There's no one through the middle. Buzaglo had dropped off deep at that point. Well, Howard Kendall offering instructions there to Stuart McCall in midfield. There's the management team, Howard Kendall and Colin Harvey. This is Stuart Mitchell. And now Eddie Cowler. There's Mitchell and Biggins. Hustled out of that by Sheedy. The kind of error that you really can't afford at the top level. Nevin losing out though. And it's Biggins trying to step away from Ratcliffe. He was impeded. That's a free kick. Well, Mark Biggins playing in this match as though he believes he's entitled to be at this level of football. Company director of a decorating firm. Cowler lofts it forward. Pratt has gone ahead. There's Nevin. And now Cotty. Brilliantly challenged there by Brown in midfield. He's becoming more and more influential, Derek Brown. That kind of shot won't trouble Southall. An industrial door fitter, Derek Brown, but he can be very pleased with his performance so far in the match. Half an hour gone. There's Sharp. Running into wide. Played into space there rather hopefully by Mitchell, but the only player there is Neil MacDonald for Everton. So the Woking defence allowing that ball to bounce. Could be dangerous. There's MacDonald. Now Ratcliffe. Fine play, resisting the challenge there from Biggins. And referee Keith Hackett's had a quick word with Mark Biggins. As Nevin tries to collect the ball at the edge of the box. It's back goal with Brown for Woking. The referee clearly thought that Biggins was a shade reckless as he tried to go in there on Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe's pace in possession kept him out of trouble. Redbrill back to Sheedy. Now Watson. Cotty breaking on the right. Closely marked though by Barron. There's Franks. To the middle it goes for Buzaglo. Ratcliffe kept his eye on the ball. This is Kevin Sheedy. Well, he's worked his way out of that tight corner. It looked as though he was in trouble for a moment, and this is Cotty. McCall lifting it high towards the corner flag, looking for a run from Neil MacDonald. Well, Tony Cotty getting a bit of a tough time here from the fans. Things not really going his way this afternoon so far. Now Eddie Cowler takes the throw, in charge of all the set pieces. The Liverpool supporter, so he'll be particularly anxious to do well against Everton. Cowler's clearance. Watson nodding it forward, straight to Mitchell. Foul committed there by Sharp. Well, the free kick taken about 10 yards too far forward, but referee Hackett quite content to allow play to flow. Brown towards Biggins. The tackle came from Everton. And Ratcliffe making his presence felt there on Biggins. A little bit of a reminder, I think, there from Ratcliffe, following that earlier reckless challenge from Biggins. Sheedy to MacDonald. And to find a way past Franks. Well, determined play by Mark Franks. preventing any crosses coming from the right. So only Nevin making space there for the throw. Headed away by Cowler, but this is McCall. Nevin has found space on the right. Headed away by Barron. Reid came for that. And this time the free kick halts this Everton move. Pat Nevin penalised for illegal climbing, going for the high ball. But a very important challenge made there by Trevor Barron inside the penalty area. Tim Reid came racing out, committed to the ball, but Barron could take no chances. A fine ball in from Nevin. Header by Neil MacDonald. There's Everton in midfield. Sheedy forward. There's Pratt. Good touch there for such a big fellow. And now Brown. Lloyd Y playing it forward. That's too long though for Derek Brown, who made a break through the inside left position after starting the move. Back with Ratcliffe. There's Watson, and now Sharp. There's Marker dropping off in there, allowing him to find Sheedy. Here's MacDonald, and now Nevin. His marker is Lloyd Y. MacDonald's cross, an important catch there for Tim Reid. Congratulated there by Pratt with a very important, clean piece of handling that by the young goalkeeper. Applauded by the Woking fans behind the goal. Very awkward ball whipped in there by Neil MacDonald. There's Watson. Played forward by Y. MacDonald to Sharp. MacDonald again. That's into space for Ebrel. Now McCall. Pratt lofting the ball away, but Everton finding it extremely difficult to keep their flowing passing movements going when they come against this Woking defence with Bradley Pratt in excellent form. There's Sharp and Sheedy. Now Ratcliffe. Hinchcliffe. Stuart McCall's header. There's Sharp. Inside to MacDonald, a good effort, and Tony Cottee misses the best chance of the match so far. Well, Woking getting a little bit of luck, which they certainly deserve. It was fine play here as the ball was played in to Neil MacDonald. He chested it down, the volley beat Reid, came off the post. There was Cottee from point blank range. Well, a good effort indeed by Neil MacDonald. The keeper couldn't get to that. He was at the mercy of Tony Cottee. And that's a desperate miss by the £2 million striker. No free kick there as Sheedy lost the ball forward. Here's Graham Sharp. Everton trying to pick up the pace of the match now. Sharp was brought down by Barron, and the referee will now hold play up to allow a spot of treatment. So Andy Hinchcliffe involved in the match a great deal, but Neil MacDonald was a player coming so close to opening the scoring. It was a fine piece of attacking play. And he certainly must have felt extremely hopeful that Tony Cottee would knock in the rebound. Neil MacDonald has scored 4 goals already this season, and that could have been a very important 5th. Well, Howard Kendall was so impressed by Tony Cotty's 4-goal performance against Sunderland that he selected him again to partner Graham Sharp. That miss will have concerned him greatly, and clearly neither he nor Colin Harvey are entirely happy with what's happening out there. But Tim Buzaglo has recovered. The free kick though to Everton. Nevin leaves it to Sheedy. Pratt heads it firmly away. There's Sheedy and McCall. Back with Watson. Here's Ebrel. Closed down quickly by Mitchell. Then by Biggins. Then high there by Cotty. Tim Reid goes up well against Watson. Well, young goalkeeper coming through this torrid encounter brilliantly, and Brown is caught offside. There wasn't a great deal in that. Well, a rueful smile on the face of Derek Brown, but he was brilliantly released through the middle there. And the Everton defence very relieved to hear the referee's whistle. There's Cotty and Nevin. Brown doing well again, cutting off the pass intended for McCall. There's Buzaglo. Brown once again. It's back with Y. A very ambitious pass that, intended for Mark Franks on the left. McCall to Ratcliffe. There's Watson and MacDonald. Nevin. MacDonald charging forward again. Here's Nevin on the outside. Ebrel stumbled at the awkward moment there, and Biggins retained his composure to take the ball away from Hinchcliffe, but this is Ratcliffe. And Ebrel. Neil MacDonald in space again. Another fine effort from MacDonald. This time it was well taken by Reid. So just 5 minutes remaining in the first half, and Neil MacDonald having another good effort here, taking the ball across, controlling it well, but the shot was much too direct. There's Brown, and the whistle goes for a free kick. It was taken too quickly by McCall for the liking of referee Hackett. There's Sheedy and Ratcliffe. Cotty leaning into Pratt, so the referee saw nothing wrong with that, as neither player made contact. Watson's header, a long chase there for Sharp. Barron clearing with the overhead kick. Here's Stuart McCall. Playing with customary urgency, McCall. This is Nevin. Taking on Lloyd Y. Now Sheedy. Setting it up for Ratcliffe. Forward it goes to Ebrel. Now Hinchcliffe. Good play this from Everton. Spin keeps the ball in play. Hinchcliffe drills it across for Sharp. Little Pat Nevins in the midst of all that, with little prospect of reaching the ball. There's Franks. A very clumsy tackle there by Graham Sharp. Franks was none the worse. Free kick to Woking. So these Woking players will be considering now the proximity of the half-time whistle, just 3 minutes remaining. And if they can hold out until half-time, it will reflect a memorable 45-minute period in their history. Keith Hackett coming back to wave Tony Cotty 10 yards away, but in fact he's moving Cowler nearer to the goal, to the touchline, rather than withdrawing Cotty, who was cutting off the pass back, which was intended for Reid. Crunching header there from Watson. Sharp to Cotty. And a tangle there involving Pratt and Cotty. That was a nasty one. The referee, Keith Hackett, thinks there was nothing too serious in that, but Cotty reacted angrily to the attentions of Pratt. The big defender went down clutching his face, but Keith Hackett couldn't have been closer to the action. Cotty now taking some abuse from the Woking supporters. Certainly would have foul to Everton. Here's Nevin trying to get away from Barron. Has to settle for a throw. So Neil McDonald's throw. Here's Nevin. Setting it up for McDonald. Watson beaten to the high ball by Pratt. Mitchell did just enough. Cotty was waiting for an error there behind him. Well, the importance of Bradley Pratt apparent once again inside his own penalty area. Sheedy's cross. There's Sharp. Well, he was trying to find either Watson or Nevin in the middle. Well, Graham Sharp so deadly inside the penalty area with these head flicks. McDonald breaks away from Shane White. This is promising for Everton. Well, the pass intended for Sharp goes astray. Here's Derek Brown for Woking. Now Bazaglo and Biggins. The interception was made by Watson. But in the final minute of a fascinating first half, here's Pat Nevin. Into space it goes for Ebril. And away from Cowler. That's for Cotty, but Pratt is there again. Such an important player for Woking in defence and indeed in attack. The corner kick to Everton, but it looked so promising for them there until Pratt managed to head that ball to safety. But here's Nevin with the corner, looking for Sharp at the near post. Biggins with the clearance. Here's Hinchcliffe. Now Ebril. The shot came off Mitchell. And the referee Keith Hackett has brought the first half to an end. There was no need for any injury time there, but Neil McDonald is the player who's come closest in that first half to a goal, hitting the post with one fine effort, bringing another good save from Reid. But it's the Woking fans who are overjoyed at this stage. They've had a stirring performance from their favourites, and at half-time at Goodison Park, it's Woking 0, Everton 0. And still deafening sound coming from the Woking supporters. They watched a remarkable performance from their favourites right from the start of the match. They've coped admirably with everything that Everton have been able to produce in attack, and indeed have produced one or two good attacks of their own. So a very interesting second half to come. A half-time score, Woking 0, Everton 0. It was back in January 1975 when Everton played Altrincham here at Goodison in an FA Cup match, which they ended up drawing by 1 goal apiece. They had to go to a replay on that occasion at Altrincham, which they managed to win by 2-0, but they certainly must be concerned about the way in which this match has gone so far. For Woking, though, it's been a major triumph to cope so admirably in the first half. And there's been very little luck involved. Just that shot off the post from Neil McDonald, which Tony Cotty should have converted, but that apart, played very well indeed. There's McDonald though with the cross, the far post ball looking for Sharp. And Hinchcliffe put under pressure immediately by Biggins. The throw goes to Woking. So it's another vital phase in the match for Woking to ensure that they pick up their concentration right at the start of the second half and don't allow any lapses which could swing the initiative Everton's way. Plenty of vocal support once again for Woking. Bazagla losing out there to Ratcliffe. It's played forward by McCall. The target again was Sharp. Cowler finds Mitchell. Here's Biggins. Franks calling for the ball on the near side, the Woking left. Here's Brown, one of the outstanding Woking players in the first half, undoubtedly Derek Brown, the number 7, right in the middle of the field. Here's Ebril. And now Hinchcliffe. The dummy from Sharp, almost released Nevin. It was Barron who was alert enough to intercept. Here's Pat Nevin. Sheedy. Ratcliffe again. Everton enjoying a lot of early possession in the second half. Barron getting up well against Graham Sharp. Nodded back by Ratcliffe to Watson. Another one for Sharp to leap for. Well, Barron remained very calm indeed there to make that pass back. Barron going with Sharp and Pratt there, peeling off to make the extra man behind, provide depth to the defence. There's Neil MacDonald, losing out to Franks. Shane White waiting while Ebril made the challenge. There's Pratt again. And Mitchell has space to come forward for Woking. Here's Biggins. Resisting that challenge from Ebril brilliantly. Breaks back for White. There's Brown and Lloyd White. Franks was caught there by MacDonald. He had turned his man brilliantly. Neil MacDonald acknowledges that little reprimand from referee Keith Hackett. But Mark Franks turning there and going into space. Had he not been caught by MacDonald, some protection for the right knee, but that was damage to the left ankle, I think. Free kick taken there by Shane Y, but making it rather obvious. McCall intercepted. There's Brown. Well, the target was Lloyd White. Played forward by MacDonald. Sharp goes in behind Cowler. That's a fine effort. Well, Graham Sharp has been a magnificent servant to Everton over a 10-year period, justifying his current testimonial. Leads the line so well. He's scored half a dozen times this season. That would have been the 7th. Well, Mark Franks has shown his prowess. Wide on the left side of the Woking midfield. He's taken that knock. He's trying to run it off after the challenge by Neil MacDonald. Sheedy looking for Hinchcliffe. It's too close to Mitchell. Bazaglo. Determined play there by Ebril, but matched by Biggins. This is McCall. No, MacDonald. Caught there by Biggins after he released the pass. He's in trouble, MacDonald, but there's Sharp beaten to the ball by Barron. And Shane Y showing too much of that to Ebril. That could have been dangerous. Well, Ebril with a snapshot, but there will now be a hold-up because Neil MacDonald has not recovered from the knock he took there from Biggins after that crossfield run. But there's Ebril's shot. Well, John Ebril trying to make his presence felt in midfield, a graduate of the FA School of Excellence. So Neil MacDonald getting treatment there from the Everton physio, Chris Gordon. So the opening 5 minutes of the second half have been handled well by Woking, and their supporters perhaps now beginning to tempt fate by considering the possibility of a replay. There's the electronic scoreboard with all the relevant details. Header by Ratcliffe. Sheedy trying to link, coming forward with Cotty. Now with McCall in midfield. McDonald's header finds Nevin to give him his first run of the second half at the working defence. McDonald playing it in, the layoff came from Sharp, and Cotty moved too early for that. So Neil McDonald limps across to take this throw. He's still suffering somewhat from the challenge from Biggins a moment or two ago. McCall back to McDonald. Cowler intercepts, here's Brown. Watson judged it well. McCall and McDonald working something on the right now for Everton. There's Cotty on the turn. With a fine effort that by Cotty, it came off the huge figure of Pratt, who got in the way of the shot, but it was good, sharp, incisive attacking play by Cotty on the turn. And it has earned a corner kick, although he was certainly hoping for more. Barron getting up well. There's McDonald, back to Sheedy. Pratt comes to meet that. It was a long time in the air. There's McDonald. The space it goes for Sheedy, but a good ton of pace there by Barron. Clever Barron showing very good acceleration there to cut off Kevin Sheedy at the expense of another corner. And once again it was chested down by Barron. Hinchcliffe taking no chances with Buzaglo putting pressure on him. So not a great deal of activity in the match so far for Neville Southall. Hinchcliffe forward. Picked up now by Everall. There's Sheedy trying to find Nevin, but he needed more height with the pass. Here's Franks, closed down quickly by McCall. And the free kick has been given. McCall protesting, I think, that he didn't really make contact with Franks. And Franks foolishly there induced to exchange some verbals there with the Everton supporters. So Lloyd Y will take this free kick. Pratt attacks the ball again. Watson's the marker. Biggins trying to control it. Getting help from Shane Y. Here's Biggins. Dave Watson's header out. Here's Shane Y again. The pressure remains on. Here's Pratt. He did well to earn that corner. Pratt is in the penalty area to make use of his height and heading ability, but he did well on that occasion on the ground. And he'll be a major problem again for the Everton defence. It's Dave Watson who has the principal task of controlling him. Y with the corner. Driven in low this time. There's Biggins. Neil MacDonald trying to keep the ball in play, but he's given it straight to Stuart Mitchell. There's Y. Now Biggins. That's for Barron. Now Biggins again, pulling it back, and no taker there for Woking. Barron staying up with the attack. And Neville Southall very happy indeed, I'm sure, to have this goal kick. But some excellent attacking play from Woking with Mark Biggins at the heart of it. Looking for the chance to set up the two big central defenders waiting in the middle, Barron and Pratt. Biggins looking very effective again. Look at the way he went to the byline, pulled this back. It was begging to be struck home by a Woking player, and there was Barron thumping the ball behind for the goal kick. Here's Pat Nevin. Sheedy to Nevin. Across it goes to Hinchcliffe. He has Everall an option ahead. Cowler meets that on the ground. There's McCall again, using Everall. Hinchcliffe. There's Cotty. Trying to set it up for Ebril, who was offside. Well, that really was predictable that Ebril in that position was liable to be offside, supporting Tony Cottee up front. Hinchcliffe's header. Sheedy to Nevin. All the noise now coming from the Woking fans. In fact, they're asking the Everton fans why they're not singing anymore, and I think that's maybe very obvious indeed. Could all change though with one swift attack. There's Cottee to McDonald. There's a headed chance for Ebril. It's back now for Sheedy. 57 minutes of the match gone, and Kevin Sheedy takes all the pressure off Everton. Neil McDonald whipping the ball in there. Ebril couldn't get to it. Brilliant play there by Sharp, and a deadly finish by Sheedy. Well, it's been a long time coming, but you have to admire Everton for the patience they've shown. They've kept their shape, they've kept trying to play football, and Neil McDonald certainly was entitled to be involved in that scoring move, but Sheedy delivering a magnificent finish for his third goal of the season. Well, the fairy tale dims a little now for the Woking supporters, although they're still chanting defiantly behind goalkeeper Neville Southall. But the Everton supporters have come to life though. Not only a welcome goal, but a goal of quality. And it was fitting that Neil McDonald should have been involved in the build-up. He's been a very potent attacking weapon for Everton all afternoon. Well, a sense of relief, I've no doubt there. Howard Kendall, Jimmy Gabriel and Colin Harvey. They'll be greatly relieved by that opener, and they're thinking clearly about making a change. There's Nevin looking for Sharp, but it's cut off by Barron. Here's Franks. Played forward by Lloyd White, and Bozaglo trying to take the ball beyond Neil McDonald. Well, Tim Bozaglo has been the solitary spearhead for Woking this afternoon. It's been a lonely, difficult task. So Everton can now display lots of patience in possession. They'll be content simply to be in the fifth round draw. They won't be looking for any special heroics towards the end. It'll be important for Everton not to be too relaxed in defence. I'm sure we can depend on a big effort from Woking before the end if the scoreline stays the same towards the closing stages. But Everton will undoubtedly be thinking about a killer second goal. That's good play though from Woking. Look at the way they put these passes together again in the middle of the field. Over on the far side is Mitchell. Now Biggins. Impeded there by Sheedy. That's a free kick. Biggins thinking about taking it quickly, then leaving it to Shane Y. There's Barron. He wasn't picked up making the run. Southall was alert though. Cowler against Cottee. Here's Tony Cottee with Cowler. Well, how Cottee would have loved to have scored on that occasion. He's had a very difficult match. Nothing really has gone well for him, but he posed so many problems here for A.D. Cowler. His determination gave him that shooting chance into the side netting. Here's Stuart McCall. Sharp makes a run to the right. Challenged by Barron. Still sharp in possession. This is Nevin. There across the far post, looking for Ebrel. There's Hinchcliffe. It goes again towards Cotty. Cowler's clearance. Good little dummy there by Biggins. Woking now trying to get players forward. Derek Brown making a run through the middle. Matched though by MacDonald. McCall brilliantly tackled there by Shane White. With Y again. And Woking having to be careful there about an offside. It was Buzaglo who had the intelligence to drop back, but the enthusiasm of Franks took himself into that offside position. But Shane White doing brilliantly. First of all, winning the ball from McCall, and then setting up that good attack. This ball falls for Sheedy. Here's Nevin. That, I think, was intended for MacDonald rather than McCall. There's Cowler. Appear to be fouled there by Cotty, but the referee allows play to continue with Cowler in possession. Cotty badly looking for a goal to continue his scoring record. Up goes Watson. Lloyd Y. Franks forward. Watson getting to the head of Buzaglo. This is Neil MacDonald. There's Graham Sharp. On the far side is Hinchcliffe. Now Ebrel. Well, he tried to catch Hinchcliffe on the run. The fullback is now well out of position. That's for Buzaglo. Neil MacDonald's header. Got him to the head of Franks, and MacDonald really has had a good match this afternoon for Everton. Sharp's little head flick. Cowler gets the head of Cotty. All that activity on the Everton bench. They're going to make a change as soon as the ball goes dead again, I think. There's Hinchcliffe going forward. Peter Beagrie has taken his tracksuit off. And now Everton have the opportunity to make the change. And it's Tony Cotty who is being withdrawn. And that'll be a major disappointment for the former West Ham striker. He hasn't had the best of matches. Things have been very difficult for him this afternoon. But he goes off, and the replacement is Peter Beagrie. So that will involve some reorganisation of the Everton attacking style. Beagrie will favour the left flank, I reckon. Biggins judged that well, holding off Ebrel. This is Brown. And that's a great ball forward, and MacDonald did just enough for Everton. Franks was going in behind him. Ebrel was fouled from the rear there by Mitchell, so it's a free kick to Everton. Well, we've had the crucial opening goal from Everton, and it's up to Woking now to do something about this, and they're having to lift themselves at a time in the match when they're entitled to be feeling the effects of the pace of the match. Brown trying to find Franks again, but there's Neil MacDonald. Now Sheedy. Target is Sharp. Slipped there as the ball arrived. Beagrie was coming in behind him, and here's Mark Biggins again. Buzaglo goes to the right, Franks to the left. Here's Pratt. And Mitchell. I think we'll see a lot more of Pratt as an attacking force in the closing stages. They'll be pushing him forward, Woking, I'm sure. So there's Dave Watson and now Ratcliffe. MacDonald. An enormous kick out that from Southall. Carefully watched by Cowler. There's Biggins. Hinchcliffe looking for Sharp. The marker was Barron once again. It breaks for Nevin. Another fine cross, but Barron is there. Here's Stuart McCall. And good, competent defending once again from Woking. They're very well organised at the back. They know exactly what they're about. Stuart Mitchell now has the task of looking after Peter Beagrie, the substitute, who's come on the left flank for Everton. Sharp to Nevin. Well, applause from the Woking fans as Woking try to settle again to their familiar pattern of play. That's a good interception by Watson. Through the middle it goes from Nevin to Sharp. Reid has come out well for Woking. That was important, all right. Sharp would have had a chance, but for the arrival there of Tim Reid. Hinchcliffe forwards, it's cut off there by White, and this is Mitchell. Woking now drawing in all their reserves of energy to try to support this attack. Good play. Biggins, through it goes towards Bazaglo. The interception by Watson. That's a fine ball from Nevin. Here's Beagrie. Taking on Mitchell. Handball there by Mitchell. Yes. The free kick's been given. Well, Mitchell was being turned and twisted there by Beagrie. Well, a very quickly taken free kick, but catching the Everton players unawares somewhat. So Mitchell turning it back to Tim Reid. So the deadly kind of finishing which destroyed West Bromwich Albion yet to be produced by Woking. Although it was late in the match against West Brom before they burst to life in attack. So there will still be hope in the Woking hearts at this stage. Although there are signs now of some fatigue, but Bazaglo, who got 3 against West Brom and scored late in the match, he will be looking for a scoring opportunity at least before the end. Here's Franks. Watson has a quick look to see where Bazaglo is before he makes the clearance. Barron to Brown. Wide back to Barron. There's McDonald and McCall. Watson using Hinchcliffe on the left. Everton have pushed Sheedy into a more advanced position now with the arrival of Beagrie. Here's Pratt. Well, he's in a fine match. He's looking to cap that with a goal for Woking. Looking back to see who's with him. Derek Brown is there. Tackled well by Sheedy. It breaks for Biggins. Here's Pratt again. Cross it goes to Shane Y. Mitchell's on the right. Tackled quickly there by Beagrie. Well, great encouragement for the Woking supporters from that move. Good play by Woking. Here's Biggins. Setting it up for Y. Superb effort by Shane Y. And Southall appeared to be blinded for a moment by that. What a great piece of play it was. Biggins controlling it, little dummy, setting it up for Y. It's a well-drilled shot, and Southall certainly appeared to be beaten. Well, what a fine effort that was by Shane Y. That would have been his 5th goal of the season, his first in the FA Cup. Sharp did just enough again to find Nevin. Donald forward, the target there was Beagrie. Nevin trying to find space from the throw. He's the principal mover off the ball for throw-ins, Pat Nevin on the right. Sheedy opens the play up for Hinchcliffe. Good tackle by Mitchell. Here's Biggins. Buzaglo trying to make space ahead. Shane White also going through the middle. Question of Woking getting players forward now to support any attack they can muster. Fowler leaves it to Pratt. There's Barron. White. Barron looking for Buzaglo. The marker again was Watson. Here's McCall, playing with lots of urgency in midfield. Hinchcliffe towards Sharp. He's beaten by the towering figure of Pratt. This is Franks. Pratt once again. Lloyd White, the younger of the two brothers, on the side. Watson tidies up, but it breaks for Buzaglo. That's good running by Buzaglo. He's on the corner kick. The ricochet ending with the ball coming off Neil McDonald's head for the corner. So up come Barron and Pratt. And Hope rises again among the Woking supporters behind that goal. Played in by White. Back it goes to Biggins. Good ball played in low, but Nevin clears for Everton. There's Cowler. McDonald's header. There's Sheedy. Nevin. Trying to play that through a gap for Ebril. Biggins wins it from Nevin. That is body checked by Hinchcliffe. Well, Biggins has been very impressive for Woking. One of a number of their players who really have distinguished themselves. There's going to be an alteration though for Woking, or for Everton again rather. Graham Sharp is being withdrawn and Martin Keown is going on to replace him. Well, Graham Sharp has been limping a little in the last few minutes, and Martin Keown goes on, perhaps to match the aerial power of Pratt for these set pieces. Played forward by White, headed on by Barron and taken well by Southall. Well, Barron and Pratt have scored a number of goals. Barron has scored 6 so far this season. Pratt has scored 8 for Woking. Two central defenders doing a lot of damage in opposing boxes. Well, what a real mark of respect it is to Woking that Everton have brought on a central defender to replace a striker. Well, Keown has gone up front. Here's Neil McDonald. Carefully watched there by Reid. Well, Martin Keown, formerly with Arsenal and Aston Villa, has gone straight into the attacking position vacated by Sharp, although he will add extra help in defence when Woking come forward. There's Barron. Buzaglo. White. Buzaglo again. Why back to Buzaglo? Oh, it couldn't have been closer. Brilliant play from Woking. And Buzaglo shot just wide of the post. What a great move it was. There's Buzaglo. The return from Shane White. The pace of Buzaglo got to the ball ahead of McDonald and Southall. And that just clipped the outside of the post. Wow, what a story this would have been had Buzaglo been able to direct that on target. Southall was beaten all right. Wow, what terrific courage and skill demonstrated again by Woking. Buzaglo has taken a knock. He collided there with Neville Southall after the shot was released. And there certainly would have been no pain at all, I can assure you, had that ball found the net. Well, a shake of the head there from Neville Southall, and little wonder his defence was beautifully breached there by Woking, and that could so easily have been the equaliser. Well, Bazaglo has recovered. That'll give him a lot of encouragement though to go looking for the equaliser before the end. Keown getting up there with Pratt. Ebrel across to Hinchcliffe. Beagrie back to Hinchcliffe. This is Sheedy. Now Beagrie again. Hinchcliffe. Ebrel. McCall. Nevin pointed exactly where he wanted the ball. It was delivered as requested. Here he goes into the box. Supported again by MacDonald. Well, Tim Reid made a decision at the last second to leave that alone. He knew it was dipping over the crossbar, but MacDonald has been supporting Nevin brilliantly on the overlap. Good header from Watson. Straight back to Brown. Some signs of fatigue on the legs of Derek Brown now. McCall to Nevin. Intercepted by Lloyd White. Cowler finds Barron. Now Franks wants to test the pace of MacDonald, but he has enough of that. An outstanding match he's had, Neil MacDonald, for Everton. So here's John Ebrel. Sheedy. Ebrel now using Hinchcliffe. Well, Everton taking no chances at all. They're happy to have a lead at all, and they clearly respect Woking, who's shown enough in that recent attack involving Tim Bazaglo to suggest that Everton's tactics are justified. But here come Woking again. Lloyd White in possession. Now Bazaglo dropping a little bit deeper now to become involved in the build-up play. Biggins has crossed to the left. Ratcliffe's header. Now Nevin. A chase there for Keown. He got the better of Barron, and Barron's in trouble. He's still on the ground. McCall is through the middle. Keown tried to do it all by himself, and Cowler made an excellent tackle. Well, Martin Keown had McCall available to release a pass early to him through the middle, but he chose to try to do it by himself. And Trevor Barron never recovered from a very awkward landing there after his clash with Martin Keown. Well, let's hope there's no serious difficulty, because he has been outstanding, and Jeff Chappell will want to keep him on the field. There's not much doubt about that. Looking very solemn at the moment, Jeff Chappell, but he has confirmed that regardless of the result, he'll be smiling at 5:15, and he certainly has every reason to be proud of his team this afternoon. Well, Barron looked to be in a great deal of distress when he went down. I wonder, in fact, if it may have been cramp in the calf. Well, Howard Kendall still determined to make sure that Everton don't lose concentration. Just Pat Nevin and the MacDonald. A fine header there by Keown. You had to be brave to go for that. The boots were flying inside the penalty area as MacDonald played this ball in. Martin Keown dived there bravely to get that header on target. There's Shane White pulling it through the middle. Chase is offered by Derek Brown. Well, Trevor Barron, earlier picture, is stamping that right leg, and it does indeed look as though he's been suffering from cramp. Keown getting up, but Nevin had overrun him. There's Lloyd White. Bazaglo sets off in chase. Southall not prepared to wait for Watson. He's kept the ball in play too. A lusty clearance. So here's Cowler, who's done extremely well at the back, marshalling that Woking defence with superb markers in Pratt and Barron. There's Y. Biggins controlling it well, surrounded by Everton players. Buzaglo had nowhere to go there as Sheedy challenged. Barron meeting Sheedy head on. So 8 minutes of the match remaining. A little bit of injury time perhaps. There's activity on the Woking bench as Buzaglo takes on Watson. Good play by Buzaglo, and Watson welcomed the help provided there by Stuart McCall. You realise the menace posed there by Buzaglo. He just needs a glimpse of goal to be a real menace to the Everton defence. Headed on there by Keown, but no problem for Reid. Woking have a substitute waiting on the track to come on. No, they're not showing up any board at the moment. They're headed away by Pratt. There's Mitchell. To play a little bit deeper since Beagrie came on. Y had no space there to take on Hinchcliffe. So a substitution will be made, and the player coming off is Mark Franks, getting a thoroughly deserved round of applause for his contribution to the Woking effort. He's played extremely well wide on the left, Franks, and he's replaced here by Paul Mulvaney, who will go up front alongside Buzaglo for the closing stages. Another Liverpool supporter, Mulvaney, an electronic engineer. Played forward there by Cowler. Buzaglo will welcome the extra help provided by Mulvaney in attack. It's a free kick to Woking. Not taking this quickly though, they're waiting for Pratt and Barron to make their way into the box. Can Woking snatch an equaliser? What a story it would be. There's Y. Shane Y this time. Trying to find Tim Buzaglo going through that gap in the Everton defence, but couldn't measure the pass properly. Shane Y though has sent away a number of very telling passes for Woking. So there's Paul Mulvaney, former Bracknell Town and Cheltenham, 28-year-old engineer. Back in his hometown too, born in Liverpool. There's Y. Mulvaney's first touch. Space inside for Biggins. Beagrie spotted the danger though, came back very swiftly. Here's Pat Nevin. Keown trying to get the better of Barron, but he did so illegally. Free kick to Woking. Exactly 5 minutes plus injury time remaining. Woking trying to build up some attacking power now, but not resorting by any means to long hopeful balls upfield. They're trying to play football right from the back once again. Here's Mulvaney. Into the angle it goes for Y. The covering player was Ratcliffe. Here's MacDonald. Keown wins it for Nevin. Sheedy has gone through the middle. Good running by Nevin. He may go all the way himself here. That's set up for Sheedy, and the flag goes up for offside. It appeared to go up very late indeed, and that's what has upset the Everton supporters. Sheedy breaking on the right, linking with Nevin, and caught offside. Biggins to Shane Y. Here's Buzaglo. Derek Brown. Cowler. Lloyd Y. Barron. Buzaglo. Here's Brown. Lloyd wide forward, here's Buzaglo. Trying to link with Mulvaney. Watson did well, this is McCall. Keown to Nevin. Woking now committing so many players forward, exposed to a fast break from Everton. Here's Neil MacDonald. That's a magnificent switch of play to Hinchcliffe. His control let him down though. There's Mitchell to Biggins. Buzaglo goes to the right. He's onside, played on by MacDonald. Mulvaney coming from the left. Pratt is up with the attack. And once again, it's the final pass which lets Woking down. Bradley Pratt covering 50 yards to join that attack. And the credit due to Woking is absolutely endless. They've been magnificent all afternoon. They have lacked just the quality to make the final telling pass. They have persisted with attempts to play football all the way through, and they've given Everton a very severe test. There's Sheedy playing it back. Instructions coming again from the Woking bench. Played forward by Ebrel. There's Sheedy with a cross. No one on the far post though. They'd all been sucked in towards the near post. Keown and Nevin. There's Lloyd Y. McDonald's given that to Mulvaney. Just about his first error in the match so far, and it's Watson who clears up, making the tackle on Buzaglo. What irony that would have been had Neil MacDonald made a fatal error at this stage in the match. Barron. Buzaglo turning neatly. Here's Derek Brown. Running into McCall. Here's Keown. The sprinting player on the far side was Kevin Ratcliffe, trying to support Keown. Everyone else on the Everton side was back defending, but into the last couple of minutes. Pratt towards Biggins, but it's cut off by Ebrel. There's Beagrie. Beagrie in possession, here's a chance for Everton. This could clinch it. Keown's in the middle, Nevin coming from the edge of the box. Still Beagrie. Lots of Everton players forward now, but Shane Y is there to intercept the pass intended for Sheedy. He's had an excellent match. He's grown in stature, Shane Y, as the game has gone on. Here's Buzaglo trying to get away from McCall. Dragged away there by Buzaglo, and the throw has been given by the referee to Woking, although the linesman said it was Everton's. Here's Derek Brown. Cowell, the skipper. Ratcliffe's header. Hinchcliffe. Beagrie goes on a run. Realised that Hinchcliffe would continue his run on the flank. There's Hinchcliffe. Keown looking for the ball. Brave diving save by Reid. So we're into injury time now. There's been a little bit of that in the second half. Woking have put so much into this late rally, so far without reward. Neil MacDonald quite content to play that long pass back. So agitation on the Woking bench. Jeff Chappell on his feet. That is just about the most honourable defeat you can imagine if it ends that way. There's Pat Nevin trying to set that up for Keown. So a goal kick which Tim Reid wants to take in a big hurry. Referee Keith Hackett checking the time. We've had almost a minute of injury time. Sheedy couldn't control it. There's Biggins trying to play that through for Buzaglo. Ratcliffe was in the way. Well, no one leaving this match early this afternoon, that's for sure. Here's Pratt. Oh, that's good play by the big central defender. Forward by Y. Nevin is crossed to the left. Possession back with Everton now. Here's Ebrel. And Watson. It looks as though the Woking effort has been in vain in these late stages. Sheedy back towards Hinchcliffe. Everton supporters' eyes are on the referee. Played forward by Hinchcliffe towards Keown. There's Pratt. This could be the last attack of the match for Woking if they can get the ball beyond Eberl. Well, they couldn't, and it's Hinchcliffe now who has possession. Forward it goes towards Buzaglo. Ratcliffe comes forward in commanding fashion. Here's Martin Keown, and there goes the final whistle. A remarkable performance from the Vauxhall League Premier Division side. They were beaten in the end by Kevin Sheedy, who scored a fine goal in 57 minutes. But these Woking supporters, quite correctly, acknowledging their heroes. It's Everton who go through to the 5th round. Well, Howard Kendall coming out there to exchange words with Fred Callahan, and he wants the Everton players to respond to the Woking players, I think. The exchange of shots at the end of the match, but it's been an outstanding performance from Woking, who now go to applaud the Everton supporters, who are thoroughly appreciative of what they realise has been an outstanding performance from the non-league side. You couldn't have a more honourable and glorious defeat than Woking have suffered this afternoon. Every player in the side has given his all. They've been heroes all the way through, and they've contributed hugely to this season's FA Cup. Tim Reid with the shirt worn by Neville Southall, that will be treasured for the rest of his life, you can be sure of that. And there's no sense of gloom or despondency among these Woking players, and that is right and proper. They've been a credit to the contest. It's been an outstanding cup tie, but in the end, Woking go out with complete honour, and the Everton players are waiting there, I think, to applaud the Woking players off. They're milking the moment though, Woking. They don't want this to end. They've been in the big time, they've acquitted themselves superbly, and they want the moment to be savoured. Now making their way towards their own supporters. Look at that sea of support for Woking. Wow, what a response that is. The average gate for Woking is less than 1,500 this season. That shows a massive increase on previous years, but around 10,000 here this time, and they've enjoyed the occasion to the full, as have these Woking players. Everton fans also offering their applause for the non-league side. A day never to be forgotten by these Woking players and supporters. Well, you would think they'd won the trophy itself, but they've just lost in the most honourable way possible. Well, I really don't think these Woking players want to leave the pitch. Handshakes there for Tim Reid, the young teenage goalkeeper. The Everton players still waiting, incidentally, in the tunnel area. They're not leaving. They clearly want to pay their respects to what has been a mammoth effort by Woking. So the Everton players waiting there with the most sporting gesture. Applause being offered by the First Division giants to the Woking players, some of whom can't get away from their supporters. So a moment never to be forgotten for these Woking players. And that says a great deal for non-league football. A number of clubs who wonder how they would do against top-class opposition. Woking now know that they can compete with the best. Well, that really is a delightful scene. The Everton players shaking the hands of their Woking opponents and applauding them from the field. It's been a wonderful occasion, graced by two sporting sides no unpleasantness in the match, and in the end it's Woking who return with all the honour, but not with the victory. The final score at Goodison Park, Woking 0, Everton 1.